So sorry for my random inconsistency and whatever. We're also
No.
just like, I'm also like not filling anything out right now because it's also like I need to get like a feel of like what Lacuna's got going on for one.
You're
Because
so
like, you know,
valid.
cross that bridge when we get to it.
I feel you. I feel you.
I don't understand how people are just like, yeah, I've got this whole ass character. I'm like, I got nothing. Like, I got a little guy right here. What do they have going on? I don't know. But it takes me forever to make a character. I mean, I'm sorry.
I have like a really hard time making characters unless I have someone to like bounce back and forth with. At least PCs. NPCs it's easier because I'm like, I know exactly what I need this NPC for.
Yeah, that's fair. Exactly. Because like NPCs, it's like, you know, you got like your whole, like, yeah, I want them to do this. And then I'm going to put my own little flavor on them. Like, throw in some seasonings or whatever.
It literally,
and,
just
like,
give them a little seasoning.
Yeah, just a little seasoning. Like, you got your whole spice drawer. Like, you can go ahead and like, throw some whatever in there. Like, I cannot make, like, this character is going to be, I'm going to play this character. I cannot, like, do anything consistent as far as, like, yeah, I want them to do this. Like, I rarely, if ever, I'm like, yeah, first draft, I got this going on, to, like, where I get to them, like, even partway through. Like, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like this part. I'm going to do this or whatever. But I'm sorry. I'm on a tangent. But, like, you know, I suck so bad at being, like, sticking with something unless it's really like, yeah, I like this a lot. So, you know. That's why it's like, I have, like, basically nothing for Lacuna. Because it's like, you know, I don't know.
You're valid because that was me rewriting a bunch of stuff like an hour ago. Like rewriting a major plot point.
That's fine. Yeah, just being like, hey, are you in debt?
Joke I made.
Sure, dude. I do that constantly. I'm like, what if this attribute I had was instead not that funny? You think it's funny, but it's not that funny.
No, I think it's funny. Sometimes you make a joke saying like, haha, what if the Chads were canon to this world? And then they go, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Anyways, they'll never come out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be definitely all right.
They certainly won't be called the Chads, I'm sad to say.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll be real. Did I ever call them the Chads after like the first bit? No, because it felt I was like, this is a very silly name we've come up with, unfortunately, for this very serious organization.
That was the comedy of it.
Yeah, I know. It was funny, but also it was like, well, like, it's the same thing with like the settlement, because I made a joke, because I was joking about with Laura the other day too, where it was like, we still don't have a name for this place. And they were like, yeah, we just call it like, I don't remember what they said, but like, it's one of the, whatever name they were like trying to say before. And I was like, are you going to be able to say that? It was something different, but it was like, are you going to be able to say that in like a serious setting? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not. And that's like, you know, it has to be a place name that like I can say without like losing my shit. And I think that's difficult.
I agree. We have to be able to say it while doing, you know, important RP, including both serious and happy.
Yeah, exactly. Would you be able to say it in like an emotional way without sounding like a clown? Is the real question.
Exactly. But I am going to bring us to a start.
Yeah, I know. You're good. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Know, it's the ADD storytelling. I just have to like go into like 4 sub-stories before I get to the main one. Because I think it's important, but it's not. So, you know.
I think it's very important. The first 5 minutes of this recording is indeed the Oliver and Nedgem podcast.
I'm convinced I would be so good on a podcast, but like, I would have to have another person there. Like, I couldn't just talk. No, but I could like tell another person all the stupid shit that comes from my brain.
Literally just hopping from topic to topic the whole time.
Yeah, basically. Sorry, I've gone off again. I've successfully shifted the topic once again on accident.
It'd be like that. Hold on, let me update something. There we go. Now this channel is named appropriately.
Yeah, it's perfect. People always will like occasionally be like, I'm gonna do like a podcast. I'm like, yeah, I'll be on it. They never ask me to be on it. And they never make the podcast, so
betrayal.
Depressing.
Truly. I don't think I'll ever make like a talk show podcast, but NetGem, if I did, I would invite you on it.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it. I think I'd be good at being on a podcast. Would I ever make a podcast? No, I don't have the equipment. It would just be garbage on my end, but you know.
Fair enough. But I am really gonna get started.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I keep derailing it. Please continue.
So Lacuna, I don't know if you've listened to the other Session Zeros, but we're gonna
I have not
mix it up a little. Oh hell yeah!
It disturbs me to listen to my friends' voices with them not being there. That's why I hate phone calls. I don't like not seeing the little name light up or whatever. I realize in the phone call context, it's more like not seeing the person. But here it's like, I can't see your little picture light up and it disturbs me. So I can't do phone call or listen to recording, even though I want to.
That's so valid. I think Savior listens to them enough for all of us, and I support him so much in that.
That's reasonable. I was going to listen to the one with Esmond and the baby. I can't remember the name of right now.
Owl?
The cat. The baby. Yes. The baby.
The baby?
Yeah. The baby cat. Exactly. I was going to, and then I was like, no, this disturbs me. I cannot see the little circles light up.
God, you're valid.
Thank you.
But Lacuna, it is... it's a Sunday night. It's about a month and a half into the first semester of your second school year. You are currently finishing up with a closing shift at Homegrown Inc. You get kind of passed around between tattoo artists in this apprenticeship, but this evening you were helping Resonant, your boss, with a client. The client's piece was very detailed, a large back piece with everything from script, flowers, to a whole bunch of involved stuff. So you two worked together. But it took so long that it did go just over an hour late. It's currently just past 11 p.m. The shop usually closes at 10, but it's usually not a big deal if you're just finishing up a client or something. And you and Resonant have been hurrying to finish up. And we come in this moment to Resonant kind of straightening up, cracking their back muscles, and having the client straighten up, and they turn to you. So, how about you get them all cleaned up, set up the bandage and all that? I'll head up front and get ready to check them out. After that, just clean the chair, lock up the back room, and you're good to go. Don't worry about it. I'll finish up here.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. You're gonna like be up front and stuff still, right? Like you're just not just like leaving us here or anything?
No, I'm gonna get all the information for checking him out.
Okay, great. Yeah, I can do that. And I guess like gonna turn back to the person and be like, so you're good? Are you feeling okay after all that? Do you need like a little like water or like a snack or something before we like go ahead and get you up and everything? I mean, I realize you've been like sitting and stuff for a while, so. It's
a half-elven fellow, and he kind of, straightens up, stretching out the back after quite a few hours of laying down. Well, I wouldn't say no to some water, but other than that, I think I'm pretty much good.
Okay, yeah, alright, that's cool. I'm gonna go grab like a little Dixie cup of water, I assume is probably like the we got around here. It's like grab a little cup of water for the gentleman, bring that on back.
Mm.
And then just like, I've only got one tattoo, so maybe it's a small one on my front. So paper towel question mark normal things you use for cleaning up tattoos.
Yeah.
I need to do some research, but yeah.
No, you're fine. Make me a quick medicine check real quick as you clean it up.
Oh boy,
double
hold
check
on.
It over.
I forgot about dice. I gotta go over my character sheet.
I'll say you can have advantage on this since, you know, you've been learning about tattoos, so you're pretty familiar with what to look for.
Alright. I forgot I had cleaned my computer, so I have to log in and stuff again.
Oh no!
No, it's all good. I just have to get in there.
That's fair. I always forget my passwords, and it becomes.
Well, I have all of them saved and everything. I just forget which email address I have connected to my most of my characters. So, all right, you said medicine, right?
Yes.
It's a wisdom. I do have a couple of those, I suppose.
Just a couple, not a lot.
There's a 16. There's a dirty 20. I'll take the dirty 20, I guess.
Real?
Yeah, you know?
Right.
Insane, I realize, but...
Taking a look over it, there's not too much blood or anything, so you think he's good. It looks like all the lines are nice and crisp, no color bleeding to worry about. From what you can tell, you're good to just, you know, slap one of the second skin.
The weird Band-Aids. Yeah. The weird Band-Aids.
The clear plastic wrap Band-Aids.
Yeah, just saran wrap that bad boy real quick.
Exactly. Alright, you get him all set up, and he's pretty much good to go. I assume you send him on front and get the workroom tidy, like Resident had asked?
Yeah, go ahead, get him good to go, and just, like, sanitize the chair and stuff, I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do with tools and stuff. Probably similar, sanitize.
Yeah.
I assume they got, like, a dishwasher or whatever type deal for those.
Put the needles in the dishwasher. Dude.
Well, yeah, they have that for, like, sanitation and stuff, though.
I know.
You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. We're the two people who probably would know the least about this. Xavier would probably know the most.
Yeah. Like I said, I only have one tattoo, and I got it a while ago.
We shake hands.
So, you know, eventually, I'll Google it later. Yeah. I'll learn.
Exactly. Finishing up and getting the room ready for the next day is quick enough. I'm sure you're pretty eager to get home since it's later than you expected.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright. You can hear Resident up front checking the guy out, you know, telling him how much it's going to be, giving him, you know, aftercare instructions, all that shebang.
Yeah.
And you and Resident have been hurrying a lot, like the last hour to get this done, or else it might have taken even longer.
Yeah.
So it's been a hot minute since you've checked your phone, but you circle on around to it, and right away, like, even as you're grabbing it, there's a ding of a text, and you can look down to see 8 notifications from Locke.
Oh, not great.
It's not
okay.
Crazy abnormal, so she has the tendency to send a bunch of texts at once.
Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Oh God.
It's the mood. It's the queer mood.
Yeah. Listen, I got a lot to say sometimes. Or I, like, just don't care. It's like, oh, you haven't responded to the other ones? Well, I don't care. I'm just gonna throw shit at you.
Truly. Do you want to read her text now, or are you gonna leave first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and, like, check before.
All right.
There's no reason not to when I'm inside.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like her first text to you had been at 9:30, and it just says, "Hey, I need some help with something. I'm coming to pick you up."
Oh, fantastic.
A note there. She didn't ask if
Yeah.
you wanted to help, but
Yeah. Just
and
assuming I can leave work like half an
well,
hour earlier or whatever.
well, she knows what time you get off, and you assume travel time and all that.
Yeah.
Um, but all the 7 texts after that are her first telling you that she's waiting in the internet cafe across the street, and then her getting increasingly bored as she waits for you.
Oh, yeah, fair.
But I assume you gather up your stuff. Are you gonna go meet with her or no? Not interested.
Yeah, I'll text her to make sure she's like still there first, I guess. Just be like, yeah, hey, are you still there? Like, you like, sorry, we went late. Are you still there?
You get pretty much instantly a reply in the form of a blurry selfie of her giving her phone a peace sign as she's curled over her laptop
Exactly
screen.
what I expected.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, yeah. As soon as you started saying, yeah, she takes a selfie, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a peace sign or some shit. Like,
yeah.
Ain't that just the way?
The good thing about working with computers is that you're able to take it with you a lot of places. So she's probably just in the cafe working, knowing her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've been there. All right, I guess I'll go ahead, like, get all my shit together and like go across the street then, making sure that it's like cool that I'm heading out and everything.
Yeah. As you're walking past, Resonant is just like sweeping the front room. Has probably closed up, the cash wrap and all that.
Yeah.
They're listening to something on their phone that they're playing out loud. And you overhear like a news station. It's kind of muffled because it's inside their jacket pocket, but you think you hear something about some kind of disturbance or riot going on right now that the news is reporting on.
Oh my god, I know that guy.
Riot?
Oh my god, it's Riot, right? Who's causing a disturbance? That's insane.
The mayor? But
really moving up in the world.
Truly. As you're leaving, Resonant kind of raises like a few fingers to you as they sweep and says, "Get home safe. I hope your classes are good. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah, it's going great. Thanks. And sorry things took a little bit longer.
Don't apologize to me. Scheduling errors. I should have kept in mind work time better. That's on me.
Nah, it's okay. I don't mind like the experience and everything. So either way, I appreciate it. I'll survive, but it'll be fine.
All right. Get to sleep soon.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm supposed to meet my friend, so.
Well.
She needs something across the street. We'll see how it goes.
Have a good time then.
Thank you. And I guess gonna go ahead and leave work.
Yeah. You step outside, there's the little jangle of bell as you close the door behind you. It's still relatively warm out since it's just barely entering autumn. But it's 11 p.m. It's very dark out. But the street lights create very enticing pools of light, and the cafe is literally just across the street. It's a bit of a trendy place, but it's usually pretty quiet. People go there for internet, for gaming, for events, that sort of thing, but it's usually pretty quiet this time of night. Heading on inside, it's just about as dark as the outside. However, everything is underlit by this kind of... Where am I in my notes? Hold on. Everything...
Some gamer stuff.
Some gamer
as
stuff.
It were.
Like the underlight of the colorful neon colors and shit. Very gamer. Very gamer.
Yeah. got the RGB keyboards
exactly.
and stuff.
Everything's in little discreet booths, so you can go in and be soundproof to game in peace.
Yeah, be unlike my brother, screaming in the background occasionally. You know how it is.
An F to you. I'm so sorry.
No, you know how it is.
I literally
You've
know
been
how
there.
It is. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I know you do. Better than most.
Yeah. But you enter inside, you look around, you know, ask a waiter where Locke is, and you get pointed to, well, of course, knowing her, the booth on the very, very end,
Mm-hmm.
in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Popping open, you know, the little curtain in front of it. She's curled over the front of her computer, typing away on it. And without looking up, she already starts talking. Hey, that was a longer shift than normal. How was it? Was it good? Anything interesting happen?
Not outside the norm, I think. I mean, it was just a guy that had like a really complex tattoo on his back that I was helping Resonant with, and it just took a little bit longer than usual. So like, not anything super interesting, I guess.
Cool. Well, I'm having an interesting night. And she kind of looks up at you over like the top of her big glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
What was it that was so much that you had to come over here and wait for me?
Well, see, I need your help.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know a little bit about my work, but I try not to tell you too much, because, you know, if you get compromised or something, I don't want you spreading information around.
Okay.
She's always like this. She's always rather paranoid and thinks her work is extremely important, but doesn't tell you much about it.
Yeah. They're okay with it. It's like, you know, whatever. You do you, I guess.
Everything is of the utmost importance to her.
That's fair.
So I have a contact that was supposed to bring me something tonight. It was supposed to be an easy delivery, just a quick little drop off at my house. That's it. However, on his way from the unders to up here, he can't get past a certain area because apparently there's a lot of police presence or something like that. And when he tried to go back, he found that he was essentially surrounded. As far as he knows, the police don't know he's there. But he is essentially trapped there, and he doesn't know how long their operation is going on. And he has a way to get himself back to his house really quick, but he doesn't have a way to get past the police to get to me. So, here's where you come in. We're going to go there and get the drop-off from him. But I can't do that alone because we're going to go together as a cover. But if our immaculate cover is somehow seen through, if I'm caught alone, I would be spirited away and you'd never hear from me again. However, if you're there, then there's a witness and they can't do that.
Then both of us get spirited away.
No, see, you have like a job. You have like people who would ask after you. Me, I'm off the grid, baby. It's literally just you, and I suppose like a couple of the teachers. But see, if it's just me, they're gonna be like, oh, there's a bounty on her. We have to take her. She's going to disappear and be killed in a back alley somewhere. But if you're there, they at least have to do it the proper way. You know?
Okay. You can just say you want me to go with you to pick up some like shit from a guy who's in like a sketchy place, you know? Like I'll do it.
Yes, but I need you to understand the gravity of what we're doing, you know?
I mean, you can just ask me and I'll do it. Like it's fine. But okay.
Alright. So listen, if the cops ask you anything, we're just going on a little stroll, a little night stroll, you know?
Okay.
Awesome.
I guess. Like, okay, you're making this sound like I know you're you have your importance behind your work, obviously. But in terms of like normal stuff to like this is genuinely like a danger, like how serious are we talking here? Like I know everything's important, so like
yes. First of all,
let's start at
nothing I
like
do is normal.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean normal for you.
Right.
Let's start at that as a baseline. Let's say that's a 5. Let's say a 1 is like you're going to the store to get groceries or something. And let's say 10 is like you're going to get swatted at any moment. So, like, where's this at?
I'd say a 9.
A 9?
If we're bad at this. If we're good, then like a 6. You know?
Okay.
But I have faith.
You realize that I, like, barely have a combat license, right? Like...
We're not gonna be doing any fighting.
Okay. Alright.
We're just gonna do some talking and a little bit of sneaking. You know how it is.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how good I necessarily am at that, but alright. I suppose.
It's fine. I'll help you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
You're there to provide cover for me, or a distraction, whatever works out. Don't worry, you're not going to be in any trouble. You don't have a warrant on you or anything. At most they'll do is, a little slap on the wrist.
Okay. Sure, why not?
Great, thanks so much for agreeing. She closes up her laptop and tucks it away. She doesn't even bother turning it off, which is awful for an on computer to be, carried around like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't care.
My laptop turns itself off, except for when it doesn't. So
I've
gotten
hell yeah.
Been to school for it. It's just like, oh my god, it was just on, decided to be on the whole time. Thank you, laptop. And I pull it out of my bag, and it's like sounding like a jet engine, and it's like 5 million degrees, and I'm like, all right, you didn't have to do that, but thanks.
I wanted to make sure you knew it loved you.
Thank you, laptop. Much appreciated.
But Locke takes care of her bill. It seems she just got a whole bunch of like cold brew coffees while waiting for you. Probably more than she should be drinking.
You know.
You know how to be.
Yeah.
But you guys head off into the night. She gets you guys on a bus, chats your ear off the whole time, talking about how important this is and how it's of the utmost secrecy and how it has to be taken care of right away. But with her, it's really hard to gauge.
Yeah, exactly.
When it really is those things, because she's always saying these things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was like, let me prove this. All right, we're not gonna get any kind of. This is unhelpful. All right, never mind then.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
But eventually she tugs you off at a bus stop, and you are in the North End right now, which is a northern part in Devisburg. So it's much darker here, a lot less street lights. There's slightly more people out and about. Hold on, I'm gonna... What is that noise? Can you hear that? Like a ringing noise around me?
No, I don't hear anything.
Is
it like maybe some kind of background noise from the boy, the bot?
No, I took off my headphones.
The boat, I suppose? Oh, fair.
It's definitely an alarm of some sort, but it's not in my apartment, so I don't know. I do notice now the drastic difference between Lacuna's stat block at level 3 and Shoshin's stat block at level 3. I have 10 AC and 14 hit points. Yeah.
Great.
So sorry about that, King.
No, it's just wizard things, you know.
Yeah.
Just normal wizard things.
Truly.
Having no HP or armor. We don't need it where we're going.
Exactly. Definitely not.
I'm fine. I just don't get hit. It's simple.
But she is leading you directly towards make me a history check real quick.
Oh boy. It's an intelligence one, yes. All the useless intelligence ones. I took them. Oh, fantastic. That's a 10.
With your +6?
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
I'm so sorry, King.
You know how it is.
She's leading you towards, according to some of the street signs, a subway station, which doesn't make a lot of sense because there isn't a subway in the city. Though, as you approach, you kind of realize why, since you can see the station down at the end of the road. It looks a bit crumbled, heavily graffitied. It looks abandoned.
Oh, great.
Or at least it would have been abandoned. Except right now there are a variety of vehicles situated out front. A few even with a barricade set up in the road. A lot of the blacked out cop vans. And you see some police milling about. Some speaking into their little shoulder radios. Others patrolling about. They don't seem to be acting aggressively, but anytime bystanders come near, they gesture for them to move along. Don't approach the area. They're clearly doing something in the station right now. But Locke kind of steps close to you and says in a low voice, "So, my contact, Alay, he is inside." That is not right. He is inside the station, just down the first staircase. He says he's in this old donut stand back in the day. He's pretty well hidden, but we need to get there. We don't need to get him out. We just need to grab the drop he has with him. It's a little baggy, easy enough to hide. So how do you get in there in the first place then, if all the cops are here?
Through the tunnels, down there.
But then he heard the cops coming from up above and he hid. But then they didn't just move along. They went into the station and stayed there. So he's, trapped where he hid.
Okay.
And he has something set up where he could get back out the way he came really quick. But he can't come this way. And I need that back. Genuinely, okay. It is time sensitive.
All right. I guess we could go ask the cops if what they're doing there, and maybe there's some other entrance we could go to or something. I don't know.
I mean, there's other subway stations.
And,
since they were closed down, 6 years ago. But, I mean, a lot of the tunnels are caved in. A lot of them are blocked off. There's the whole thing with the unders, that situation. So I'd rather not fuck about with that. And that would involve traversing the tunnels when we have no idea if the cops continue down into the tunnels as well. So I think it would be best if we, maybe talk to them, got some information like you were saying. Or you can make a distraction and I can sneak in. Or we can both sneak in. What's your level of comfort with sneaking?
For one person, reasonable. For two people, less so, unless you're able to do things yourself, I guess.
Oh, dear.
Because I can make one of us, or I guess make both of us technically. I can make one or both of us invisible. For an hour, technically. It depends though. Is this the kind of thing you want to handle yourself, or because I've got some options here, technically.
If you want to come, you're more than welcome to. But also, I don't want you to feel pressured to go in there and possibly get connected, if you're worried about getting caught.
Well, I also don't really want you to go in there yourself in case he's creepy or whatever. So, I've got a variety of options here, technically, in terms of like what I can do for that, I guess. Like, yeah, I really do have a lot of options here. I forgot how much of
Wizard
wizard
moment.
utility.
Yeah.
Wizard moment. I have a ton of options here, actually.
All right. Well, I have a good amount of faith in myself to be pretty sneaky, so I'm not worried about me. But if you're saying that you can cast invisibility on yourself, go for it. Go for it.
Well, I could also distract them for one. I could send my familiar in there, depending on how big this bag is, and just grab it. So if I just send like
What's
a
your
rat in
familiar?
there or something.
Oh, right, a rat.
I mean, I could do a rat. Like, I mean, I can choose technically.
Yeah, we can
I
do the
was
rat if
saying,
you want.
is it like a small bag? Because then,
It should be like a little, plastic baggie with a couple of thumb drives in it.
okay,
So it shouldn't be too heavy.
all right. I still feel like it's a little suspicious to have a rat carrying around a couple of thumb drives. So I'm not 100% on that one. I'll be real.
I think it's perfectly normal.
Well, yeah, there's also the possibility that it gets like they see a rat carrying a bag of thumb drives and like do something about it cuz, it's a rat carrying a bag of thumb drives. Like the police, I mean. Like if you saw a rat, like if you were a police officer and you saw a rat carrying a bag of thumb drives, what would you do? Like, I would assume something's going on there.
Well,
Personally.
cops are terrible, so personally, I think that they would attempt to kick the rat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it becomes harder for, I guess, my rat here to be very sneaky when it's carrying a bunch of thumb drives. And if it gets attacked by the police, and if the police decide they want to kill a rat, which would be like not that big of a stretch for the police, because it's the police, you know. I feel like there's a reasonable chance that they could kill my rat here and get your thumb drives. So
then maybe it should definitely be us sneaking in.
yeah, that seems like a better option, I think.
All right. Then, all right. I say we go for it. And if a distraction is needed, well, I got a big rock in my back.
I can make a loud noise.
That works.
At a location of my choice. From 60 feet away.
Go for it. And then we make a run for it.
That works. I think. Hopefully. Alright, so I guess we're doing this. I'm going to go ahead and cast invisibility on myself.
Hell yeah.
Because I can only do that. And if Law can't do it, I can technically cast invisibility on her as well.
She cannot cast invisibility.
Yeah.
However, she is a rogue. She is highly sneaky.
Okay, well, I believe in her. She can do it then.
Truly.
She just has to not be like Nemesis levels of stealth, and we're good.
No offense, Nemesis.
Okay, he's only had one good stealth roll once, and it was to put an amulet that may have crippled me, had we not realized beforehand, into my armor. Every other stealth check he's attempted
he was trying his best.
No offense. I know. It's very funny, though. He's a rogue. Cannot stealth. So I respect it. Love you, Nemesis. My heart goes out to you in your time of need. Which is every time you have to roll a stealth check.
Alrighty. You cast invisibility on yourself. You prepare a loud noise. What kind of loud noise are you gonna do?
I can just do like well, it's a loud knock, technically. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna like keep that on me, like as a last ditch effort, because I can also just like mage hand and yeet a rock.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Alrighty. In that case, you can go ahead and roll stealth at advantage. Close invisibility.
Yeah, my +0 to stealth. Let's get it. 11.
Damn,
I don't have anything. Yeah,
No,
I rolled an
salute
11 and a 5.
Alright, Locke, like, takes your hand, because you're invisible. She wants to make sure you're following her closely. And starts, like, creeping forward, sneaking behind, police as they patrol back and forth. And you're past, like, the first line of cops and the first row of vehicles, and you can better see the entrance now. When you kick, like, a loose tile under your feet, and it clatters a bit across the other tiles. And you see a few cops start to, like, turn your way, being like, oh, what was that?
Can I just use, like, thaumaturgy to make rat noises or whatever?
Give me an example of some rat noises.
Like I guess like the squeaking and like scratching or whatever. So it's just like, oh, it was just a rat knocking over a tile or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know how to make a rat noise, like out with my mouth or whatever. Just like noises you would expect to hear from a rat.
Fair enough. I was gonna say roll performance or deception, but they're the same for you. So just roll.
Yeah. I have only skills. I'm only good at intelligence and sometimes wisdom. That's the best I can do. I'm
sorry, Cake.
Is it just the one?
Oh yeah, just one.
12.
Bro.
Hey, that's better than average.
True. I'll say these cops are a bit stupid. They're the regular beat cops.
It's okay.
So
I feel like they'd expect to hear rats. It's an abandoned subway tunnel.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So they hear the rat noises and kind of like nod to each other like, yeah. Vermin.
Yeah, that tracks.
Makes
rats.
Sense.
You know how it is. Rats in the city.
Rats we can't see. You know how it be.
Well, hey, if you saw the rats, that would be the problem for the rats. That's why you don't see the rats.
True. Locke had like kind of frozen up for a second while you were doing this, but seeing that the cops are once again going back to ignoring you guys, she tugs you forward, and you guys get past the remaining cops and into the top of the subway station. I can't think of what they're called, but you know the tills that turn and let you through?
A turnstile.
Turnstile, that's the bitch. Those are all like pretty much torn up and gone and laying to the side, so you don't have to worry about that clicking noise as you get through.
Yeah.
And you guys hurry down the first flight of stairs. This area, it looks pretty decrepit and falling apart from the outside, but this area seems pretty well kept. Until you notice, you're in this like second floor, essentially. I guess first floor of the basement, I guess you could say. Where it looks like there might have been shops and stuff, little corner store type deals.
Yeah.
And you can see the stairway that looks like it leads down to the actual like tracks. And you can see some blood on that, fresh blood, and you can hear voices further down.
Oh, fantastic.
But Locke tugs you away from that. And leads you towards some of these little corner store shops. One in particular you can notice was maybe once upon a time like a little donut stand.
Yeah, and we're just not worried about the blood. I love that. All right.
Yeah, not your problem.
True. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Truly. But Locke tugs you over to the donut stand, and like ducks under the little gate to the side of it, to the back. where you can see a drow man kind of crouched. He had seemed to be ready to pull out a pocket knife, hearing somebody approach, but he lowers it as he sees it's you two. He's dressed like...
Or just sees one of us, because I'm invisible.
True.
Can't relate.
He's dressed notably very, very plainly. His name is spelled Alay. But he looks relieved and says, "Good. Took you long enough, but it's been hours." Locke replies, Listen, I had to wait for my assistant. Now, do you have the thumb drives?" He reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out, and indeed, a plastic baggie with 3 silver thumb drives on them. You can see like some Sharpie writing on the side of them, but you'd need a closer to look to see exactly what they say. But he passes it to Locke, who immediately like opens her shirt and stuffs it into her bra.
That works. Yeah.
The least likely place they'll pat down.
Nature's pocket.
True.
Actually, no, I don't think that's that. I think
that's the other one.
That's a different thing. Yeah. A person wearing clothes' pocket. Person wearing clothes with titties, pocket. Third tries the charm. It was amended twice.
Yeah, I love it. But Locke looks up to Alay. All right. You're good to go now. We're done. And he kind of rolls his eyes at her attitude and says, "All right, I'm getting out of here then. Are you good to get out of here?" And she waves her hands like, "It's not important."
I do love that she's just like, "Yeah, my assistant's here." There's clearly no one there. Like
he's chalking it up to Locke being Locke.
It's like, yeah, that's fine. There's no one here. She said there was. It's having a normal one.
She also says everyone's out to get her, and
Yeah, you know how it is. It's alright. Respect.
She goes to a public college while saying this.
Yeah, you know how it is sometimes.
But he reaches for a bracelet around his wrist, and you see him tuck out a little gemstone attached to it, and he twists it 3 times, and there's a low like "foom" sound, and he disappears with a little burst of smoke.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
I need one of those.
Truly. It's like a little stasis chamber.
It's like the magic mirror from Terraria. I need one of those. Just go home whenever. Ideal.
Yeah. Honestly, ideally it would be straight to my bed.
Yeah, I don't want... you can just give them to people and be like, "Hey, here you go. This leads you directly to my bed. And there's your pickup line."
No. My bed is
And there's
me.
your pickup line.
Truly.
You just, like a business card. Be like, "Hey, this gets you into a very important location. My
Speaking
bed." And that's
cards,
your pickup line.
But Locke kind of holds still for a moment just to see if anyone was close enough to hear the sound. And then kind of squeezes your hand with hers. "All right, we should be good to get out of here. Let's go."
All right.
And you turn and you start to get ready to, shuffle on your knees back out of this little stall. When I need you to make a perception check for me.
Oh no, this character's not as good at perception. This is so sad.
Me putting the wizard through a stealth level.
7. I don't have the stats to back it up. This is depressing.
I hadn't realized how bad your stats were. I'll let you re-roll them.
No, I'm fine. I have one good stat. I'm a wizard.
8,
That's all
11,
I need.
10.
Yeah.
And another 10. Like,
I'm using them.
You can re-roll them if you want.
No, it's fine. I have 2 good stats. I'm happy with it.
God.
I'm a wizard. I just need intelligence. Like, I Everything else
Truly.
doesn't matter.
The terrifying part is that you're a tiefling, so that means you had more added to your charisma, so that means your charisma was probably lower before.
Yeah, I had an 8 in charisma.
Bro!
I had ass stats. I was like, well, I have this 117 in intelligence, and that's all I need, really.
Bro. Jesus.
If you want to give me some stat points, I'll take them, but I'm fine with that as is. I think it's funny that I just have this normal person, this very average person, except for their intelligence.
Truly.
And strength.
Yeah.
Little twig arm. Respect.
But I'll let you roll again since you're on hyper alert right now.
We'll see, dude.
Listen, I don't want you to get arrested.
I got the same thing, actually. I got a 5 again. Let me get can I reroll with a different die? This sucks.
Yeah, sure.
This dice is going in jail.
Yeah, sure.
Man, I'm not gonna go in jail, hopefully, but this dice, you know?
The dice is trying to put you in jail.
Yeah, it really is. Can't believe these snitches. Oh, that's better. I got a 15.
Nice. We'll count that.
Yeah, that other die out to get me.
Truly, honestly. After those rolls, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I only got one. The highest roll I've had this evening before this was genuinely a 13. Or no, a 12. Now it's a 13, but you know.
Hell yeah. It's something.
It's something. Not good, but you know, everything else was below a 10.
But you're keeping yourself on high alert, you know, listening for if anyone's coming, listening for anything out of place. Mm-hmm. And thus you're able to hear the noise from downstairs pick up, and you tug Locke to a stop, trying to figure out if it's, you know, someone running back upstairs, what's going on. And then the sound building from below turns into full-on shouting. And there had been some raised voices before, but nothing insane. It had sounded just like arguing before, but now it's like truly angry, like violence is happening, shouting. And then you hear a gunshot. And then another gunshot.
Oh, great.
Then the distinctive sizzle and bang of magic. You start to see flares of light from the staircase. And then there is a horrible growling that rattles the tiles.
Wow.
Locke grabs your hand tight and says, I think we should go now. I think we're going now.
Yeah, definitely.
I assume you guys rush back up the steps.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys rush up with that perception check. You hear other cops starting to hurry down the stairs, but it's not that difficult. Between the growling, the noises behind you, the other cops rushing down, it's easy enough for you to press into a corner behind a pillar and for the cops to start rushing past you guys not noticing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you get to the top and you two kind of hide around a corner, looking back out at the courtyard, where some more cops are gathered, ready and watching the door, you know, ready to see if anything's gonna happen. And Locke, you can feel kind of like presses against your shoulder and is getting ready to whisper some sort of plan when you hear footsteps coming up the stairs, very hurried, and someone blasts past the two of you. A middle-aged man, maybe a dragonborn, you think. You see scales and horns and a long tail. And he's booking it out. He looks a bit bloodied. He seems to have escaped whatever violence was happening with the police.
Yeah, so it's not a guy in uniform.
No.
Okay.
If anything, you'd say, going off of kind of the rough clothing, you see a lot of piercings and stuff. Maybe someone alternative, maybe a criminal of some kind.
Oh my god, a goth.
A goth.
They got a goth.
Truly.
There's a goth in these tunnels. And insane.
But he rushes past you guys and out into the square, and you hear him start to shout something. And you think maybe it's a help, and then there is a very distinctive boom, and almost in slow motion, you see a ripple of disturbed air as a straight line comes from the top of the building across the road, down through the air, and straight through the Dragonborn's skull.
Oh my god, a sniper.
Yes, as he's instantly
Make me
killed by
feel.
a sniper.
No.
Without even a moment to consider what was going on. Uh,
Oh.
Locke freezes next to you. And it takes you a moment, but eventually you're able to pick out the sniper at the top of the other building. It's a person with pale blonde hair and kind of like some black riot gear with no helmet and only the visor. And they seem to be waiting there, watching for anyone who comes rushing out the door.
Wow, fantastic. Oh boy. So what would you? How far away is this person?
Across the street, up on top of a building, so like over 100 feet.
Okay.
Probably more like 200-300.
All right. Fair enough. So I'm assuming was the Dragonborn like standing under streetlights or something, or what?
No, he had come running like right past you guys, right out, like the gate situation of the subway station, and had gotten shot straight away. Because there's a bunch of cops set up outside with their vehicles, all their headlights, the whole shebang.
Okay, so like it's mostly being lit by the cop cars and stuff, right?
Yes,
All right.
though from your memory of when you came in, going straight ahead, like the way you guys came in, would be more difficult right now since the cops are on much higher alert. However, there had been buildings off to the left and right of the station that you could possibly maybe sneak into if you got to. And they, from your memory, they are far closer. They were maybe 25-30 feet away from the station.
All right. Can I go ahead and like turn off the cop cars? Because I have on off my cantrip that I've taken.
You do have that.
Technically, cop cars in general have a clearly defined on or off function that can be easily accessed from the outside of the device.
From the outside?
Yeah.
You can turn you can turn a car off from the outside of the car.
Yes, if the window is down.
I will say, I will not let you repeat this most likely. However, I think it's very cool if you're just one by one turning off the cars / their headlights.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was just gonna do, because like that's the best I can really do. At this point.
As you do start to do that, and you hear the cops start crying out in shock and trying to run back to their vehicles to turn them back on.
Lights on, you idiot. I do that too often.
Locke whispers to you, "We can try and make a run for it, or I don't know if you have a way of getting yourself out quick, but you're also invisible. I have Misty Step."
I also have Misty Step, actually.
Wow, real?
Yeah. Well, that seems like the best way to do this, considering, like, I don't really want to get shot, so, like, we could go for, like, the buildings that are on the side there.
That sounds good. We get there, we hurry to the nearest bus station, and we meet back up, yeah?
Alright. I think that's really the best we can do right now. Just be safe. I don't want what happened to that guy to happen to you, obviously, so...
You too.
Great, let's avoid getting shot. Fantastic.
Alright. Locke counts down to 3 in your ear, and then casts Misty Step and disappears into the night.
Alright, I guess I'll do the same, trying to go for whatever house is, like, close by.
Alright, you teleport to the nearest building in a swirl of mist.
Mm-hmm.
You are still on the outside of it, but it looks like this building was similarly abandoned to the station, and you can see like a broken-in window. So it'd be easy enough for you to duck inside while the cops are still trying to figure out the lights of their cars.
Okay, sounds good.
Hell yeah.
And I'm
You
unsnipeable from this location as well, I assume.
truly, truly
I can't be domed. Fantastic.
domed.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but you duck inside, kind of catch your breath for a minute, and then sneak out the nearest door and hurry back to the bus station from where you and Locke had come. Locke is there waiting for you, and looks like maybe she wants to talk, but then thinks better of it as the bus is approaching and just immediately ducks onto it to get away as quickly as possible.
I mean, is it a like I guess I would know about the bus. Like, is it a bus that leads to near where I live?
Looking at it, it's not the most direct bus to where you live, but
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
but it's late, so like I'm gonna take whatever I can get. It's probably better than just being on the
exactly.
streets with all the
It's
shit going
late,
on.
and you guys are still like just around the corner from the subway
Yeah,
station.
I'm gonna
So,
get on the bus.
real?
Yeah, you know.
All right. You jump on the bus, and it trundles away. Uh, Lacuna. Hello, I'm reading the wrong part of my notes. Locke. Jesus
Hmm.
Christ, I shouldn't have done an L as your
The
best
L's.
friend. Yeah.
We got the same letter. Let's get it.
Uh, but Locke is quiet for a little bit, but then tugs out the thumb drives and starts to check them over to make sure that they're all right and what she needed. Do you say anything about what you guys saw or
Yeah, I
no?
mean, I'm probably just like, like I don't know how to like bring up anything of this necessarily. It's more just like, wow, that really watched a man get shot tonight, I suppose. You know how it is.
She kind of ducks her head a bit at that. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting that at all. I don't know really what they were doing there, but that certainly was something.
Yeah, it didn't sound good, but I'm also not gonna like stick around and find out. So
No,
I
I
hope you
agree.
got what you needed. I mean, I assume it's not affiliated with that at all. So like, it's not really anything you can blame yourself for necessarily. Like, I don't think anything of ours really had anything to do with it.
Yeah,
But like,
as
no,
far as I know, they're not related in the slightest.
well, hopefully.
She straightens up a bit as you guys approach one of the stops. This is the closest to where I have to switch over. Um, I'll text you tomorrow. Thank you for your help. Honestly.
Uh, yeah. Just text me when you get home.
You too.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I'll do my best. Obviously, like can't do much against snipers, I guess.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that really just happening before. All right, I'm gonna go. Be safe.
Yeah, you too.
She waits until like the last minute to jump off the bus,
Hmm.
and then you can see her hurrying in the direction of one of the other bus stops. Uh, and you're kind of left alone in your thoughts for a bit as you wait for this bus to kind of roundabout get to where you need to get off.
Hmm. How long have I been on the bus?
Um, by the time you get to where you need to get off, it'll probably be
Hmm.
like 35, 40 minutes.
So like a short rest period of time is what you're saying.
Yes, short
Wow,
rest.
fantastic. I get one of my spell slots back.
Wow, real?
Yeah.
uh, uh, but it's a quick walk back to your apartment, and entering inside. Excuse me, sorry. It's like 12:30 or 1 at this point. And entering the apartment, you can assume Kafeda is already asleep. Especially because you can you can hear their white noise machine playing.
Oh my god, everybody's got a white noise machine these
Yeah.
days.
They're playing like trickling water sounds right now. But I assume you go to bed unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, you know, gonna take a rest, I assume, to not have to cope with, you know, watched a man die tonight, feeling
Yeah,
good.
you can stare into the distance and think about it if you
No,
want.
I'll go think. I'm not gonna think about it too hard.
Real?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of a terrible thing to see. I prefer not to flash back to it. I mean, I'll definitely like not forget about it for a long time.
Yeah, real? Imagine that. But you get you it takes a bit, but you eventually fall asleep. And your sleep is fitful. You can tell that
Yeah.
even in your unconscious mind. And
Can I thumb on my own turgid?
what?
Can I thumb on my own turgid?
No.
Can I cast sleep on myself? Is that a wizard thing I can do? That's my own white noise machine. I can just like NyQuil myself.
Truly.
It's a little funny.
Truly.
My wizard NyQuil.
Yeah. But your dreams are filled with this kind of coiling darkness and smoke. This kind of empty space where you're not really aware of anything physical.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep hearing the repeated sounds of the gunshot and the brutal impact, and the whistle of the air behind the bullet as it flew. And it keeps looping over and over, and you can feel yourself getting more agitated, on edge, freaked out, the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm keeping shield prepped. Can't relate. L to this man. He didn't keep shield prepped.
Truly.
Gets magic missiles in the dome.
Truly.
Can't relate. I'll go ahead and keep it on me.
And then your dream shifts. There's this sound underneath the gunshot that begins to build over it until you can't hear it anymore. These whispers as something coils in your gut. These whispers, you can't quite tell them yet, but as they start to become more and more clear, this feeling, this coiling instinct in your gut that says you're missing something, that something is wrong, that something you can't tell is coming. And it's this deep-rooted kind of instinctual fear. Something you haven't felt often. It's a sort of buried instinct that warns of danger and cautions you take care.
Like a fight or flight response?
Yes, like the
You're
sense
right. I only have one of those, and it's fight.
It's like the sense of being in the presence of a predator, and every nerve is on edge. There's a dragging sound of chains. And then there's a feminine voice you can kind of hear as the whispers become clear. This feminine voice that sounds like it's in the middle of a conversation, saying, "This is troubling news. We'll have to start work on pulling our people out. We'd hate to get caught up in all of that." And then there's silence for a few moments, and then a male voice responding, "And what of your lost one?" And the first voice, the female, comes back. "Well, the connection has been put off long enough. She had her independence. It's time to remind her of family. My sister always did prefer the material plane anyways. I'm sure she'll be excited to hear that family is so close by under her nose. There is another pause, and then the female voice now sounds tense, with something sort of hidden from what you can glean just audibly. We need to stick together. We can't be caught alone or unaware. And the dream begins to fade from you. No longer so terrifying with gunshots and the brutal memory of the death you just saw, and no longer with this mysterious whispers. But still very notably empty and indistinct. Slightly more restful than it had been before. Until you slowly come to wakefulness with the new day.
And I don't recognize that voice in any way or form, do I?
Roll me a history check with disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh man, I switched to dice. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, that's a 24. 17.
Awesome. You've definitely heard the voice before. It's really, really difficult to pinpoint, though. You're sure that you've definitely heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Do I have like
sure,
any frame of reference?
You're pretty sure you've heard the male voice before too.
Uh-huh.
You'll probably need some time to think on it.
Mm-hmm.
To know exactly where, but wherever you heard it, it's definitely been a long time.
That's fair.
But you wake up to the faint sound of clinking dishes, something being poured, as you realize Cafeta is making breakfast. You have class in like 2 hours, so it's up to you how you want to spend your morning.
I guess. Well, for one, I would have checked my phone like last night to make sure that like Locke got home, and I also would have texted her and been like, "Hey, I got home okay." I forgot to mention that, but I definitely would have done that.
Yeah, she would
like
have
did
texted you.
I got a text from her to make sure that she's like home and safe and everything,
Yes.
right?
It
Cool.
was a little bit after yours, but she did text you saying that she was now home as well.
Okay, cool. Great. I guess send her a text and be like, "How are you feeling after last night's festivities?" Just be like, how's the flash drives?
There isn't an immediate response, but that's kind of to be expected because between both Locke's own personality and also being a drow and also presumably having these new thumb drives, she probably stayed up late working on them and is most likely still sleeping.
Fair.
But you have some time before your first class of the day. You can hear, like I said, Cafeta is making breakfast. You're pretty sure you hear the distinctive voice of a familiar, newscaster of the city talking, probably listening to a talk show or something.
Yeah. I have like internet on my phone and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can I like look up local news and stuff to see if there was anything about like whatever was happening at the station last night?
Yeah, pulling up, like some news apps and articles on your phone. You're able. Roll me an investigation check.
Oh yay, that's intelligence also. Let's get it.
Real? Let's hope you don't roll another 4.
Well, I rolled a 5, so even better. 11.
You're able to find some surface level articles. something about some sort of police operation. Excuse me. Sorry. Something about some police operation being interrupted by criminal activity or something like that. It doesn't seem like anyone has any concrete details.
Fair.
At least from what you're able to glean.
Reasonable. Well, if they were doing some sketchy shit, I suppose they wouldn't have, like, be like, yep, this is definitely what was going on here. And there's an honest chance anyways that even if they did say, like, oh yeah, we were doing this, they're not, like, telling the truth or whatever, I guess. So,
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that just the way?
You do find a little notice of, like, oh, live streaming right now kind of deal. That a detective is on the air right now talking about it. And looking at the name of the news channel that is, like, advertising this and kind of tuning in to whatever Cafeta is listening to, you're pretty sure you recognize the voice and realize that that's what Cafeta is listening to right now.
Fair. All right, I guess I'll get out of bed and, like, go to the kitchen and have a listen while they're there, I guess. Because I assume, like, since I just woke up and everything too, like, they probably have more insights and stuff considering they were watching. So.
You come out to your humble kitchen. Cafeta is clip clopping around the kitchen.
Horsing around in the kitchen.
Just horsing around.
Just horsing around the kitchen. You know how it is.
But it is, moving about the kitchen, seemingly having made some eggs and toast. Normally, they're very talkative in the mornings. Not very, but, talkative. But now they indicate that they're listening to the news. Kind of tilt their head inquisitively towards the eggs as if asking if you want some.
Yeah, sure, thanks. I'll, like, wash the pan and stuff too, because, I mean, like, if you cooked breakfast, least I can do, I guess.
Sure thing. They make you a little plate of eggs and kind of turn their phone to keep listening to the news station. You can't fully make out the screen, from the angle of it laying flat on the counter, but it looks like there is a young man talking to the news reporter right now, and you start to hear bits of the conversation. Let me mute myself for a second because I have to practice an accent.
No, you're good. I believe. I just don't, because I suck too bad at accents.
Savior, I hate you for telling me he had an Irish accent. Fuck you, I'm not doing an Irish accent.
I almost was gonna do one, and then I was like, wait, this would be awful. I can't do it consistently.
No, that's a mood, because this guy is supposed to be Irish, and I can't do an
Irish
accent to
you.
save my life. No.
I can't either, so I won't judge. I can't tell British accents apart. You could just do any British one, and I'd be like, yep, that's close enough to me.
Pretty sure that doesn't count as British, but...
Well, part of it.
I'll give it a vague try, but if it doesn't work, just know that this guy has an Irish accent.
He's Irish.
Truly.
We'll get that text-to-speech. We'll get a text-to-speech Irish bot specifically for this man talking.
Yeah, Savior can do an Irish accent. I'll make him do it.
Tell him to come here. Be like, hey, come here. I need you to say this real quick. All right, thanks.
But you can make out a little bit of the title screen underneath him. It looks like he's a lieutenant of some sort. And he's saying, well, you see, my investigation task force. Oh, jeez, this is already a terrible accent.
I can't tell accents apart. I couldn't tell you.
We've been working on a few different projects, making them happen how we need to, take care of things behind the scene, like my unit is supposed to. When we got a call about police responding to dangerous riots in North End, and that civilians were being attacked by criminals who were trying to interrupt the police operation there. So me and my men moved in quick. made quick work of it. I had one of my men up on the rooftops, and we managed to quell the riots. Sadly, we weren't able to push all the way through to return order fully. But we'll continue working on it, and we won't rest until the criminals who are responsible for the death of civilians are brought to justice. And the reporter is nodding very seriously. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Hypatia. That's so wonderful to hear. Thank you so much. You say that you and your men, that this was connected to your current investigation? Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Lieutenant Hypatia nods a bit. He's a redhead, you can tell, kind of longer hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't really talk much in detail about... Scorpio's voice is going. I can't really talk much in detail about all of that. I'm sure you can understand since we are an investigative task force. But we're working away hard at it. And as soon as we have updates that we can give to the public without endangering anyone, we'll be sure to do so. Thank you so much for your time. I really must get going. And then there's a little click and a little, icon shows up to show that he hung up, and the screen refocuses fully on the reporter, who's like, well, that was Lieutenant Hypatia reporting in on the attack that happened at North End last night. We'll circle bound on that with any further information we get as this morning progresses. Now, in traffic, and the news, begins to move on in its normal flow, and Cafeta turns it down. How did you sleep?
Okay. Why?
Oh, I just heard you came in late.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Locke wanted me to go help her out with something, so I got pulled away after work. So, sorry if I woke you up coming in.
No, you're fine. I was kind of already awake. I was just nervous about classes and stuff.
Yeah, that figures. I mean, me too. Midterms next week and everything, so... Just a bit longer shift last night. I should have been back earlier, but things kind of went over, so,
Oh, no, you're good. You don't have to explain yourself or something. Kind of freaky what they were talking about, huh? Apparently there was some sort of riot at North End.
Yeah, I didn't really hear much of that. We were kind of in the area last night, and things were pretty dead for the most part, so...
Really? Oh, they were saying it started happening about 7 p.m. And that they were chasing them down into the tunnels. And that the criminals were apparently going to hide in the unders.
Huh, well, I don't know. I kind of missed that part on the news, but...
Yeah, they were doing that.
Weird.
Yeah, they were doing that interview with that Beast Enforcer guy.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, we were kind of in the area, North End and everything, and things were pretty quiet for the most part, minus a bunch of cop cars. But I don't know. There wasn't any kind of riots or anything like they said, so beats me what they got going on.
That's interesting. I'm not really used to, a lot of police and cops and stuff. Where I come from before I came here for school, it's a lot more peaceful and laid back. So I don't really know how this all works.
Yeah, it's not great. Usually I try and avoid that.
That's fair enough. I don't really get most of it.
Yeah, as soon as you said the name, I'm like, okay.
was wondering
I
if
know
you
how.
had picked up on it.
No, I did. I wrote it down and was like, yeah.
Fuck you,
Well,
Savior, for Irish accent. God damn.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he ever used it for Fritz. I'm, I'm pretty sure he, yeah, I'm pretty sure he used more of like a German accent
Yeah.
for Fritz later on. So you can cheat with that if you want.
But you and Cafeta trade talking about this a little more back and forth. Cafeta is still a bit, a little bit unclear about the details of all of this. He's rolling in the campaign.
He's rolling? What is he rolling?
He rolled damage for some reason.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get sniped. He's the sniper.
He's
my
the
god.
sniper. Oh my god. Oh my god.
My god, I can't believe this.
But eventually, you have to get ready for the day, head out for your class. It's Monday, which is today, is your easy day. You really only have one class.
God, I wish. Not my easy day.
I'm so sorry, King.
Well, it's okay. It's just like that. I have 3 classes on Monday, which is the most. So.
I'm so sorry.
Well, when else am I gonna have classes?
True.
Not on Friday.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
But eventually you head to your class. Make sure I have this. Okay, awesome. It's one of your programming classes, with your professor Van der Rig. He's a
little guy I got written down.
Yeah, he's a nice dude. Class goes well enough. You try not to think too much about what happened last night. At least a negative part of somebody dying. Hopefully the only person who died, but you never know.
Yeah, we hope for the well, I did hear multiple gunshots and some spooky shit, so God knows what's going on.
Truly. But as class is finishing up, your professor is kind of straightening up his papers as people file out. Kind of glances up at you. Miss Moreno, if you could stay behind for a moment.
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. You can come on up to my desk.
All right. I guess I'll go ahead and get my shit together and go meet him at his desk.
He gets his own things in order, is kind of packed up and pretty much ready to go, just seems to be wanting to speak with you. And as you approach and the last student leaves the classroom, your hobgoblin professor kind of looks up at you. Just to clarify, Miss Moreno, you're a magic user, yes?
Yeah, technically.
Wonderful. So one of my colleagues, Professor Yerkiel, is looking for volunteers for a research study. I don't know the full details, but I know that it counts as school credit, and it's paid. And after the warning call I got on Friday, I know that, with your financial troubles, that would probably be appreciated.
My what? Sorry?
I apologize if it's a sensitive topic for you, but I get contacted when students are in a spot of trouble. My students, both grades-wise and financial, just to try and be a guiding hand to help them. So when I got the call on Friday and I heard about this opportunity, I figured I would mention it to you. It might help out.
Yeah, okay. The thing there is just no one told me about any of that. So
Have you not received any of the notices about your automatic payments having been cancelled?
Nope. I haven't heard anything about that.
kind of considers for a moment. And Lacuna, you know that because of your because of your scholarship, you get
Yeah.
your all of your early schooling was pretty much completely covered.
Yeah.
Nearly entirely. There was minimal fees that your parents had to pay, but you've never really heard much about that. You assumed it was taken care of. And when you went to college, the scholarship still technically counted, but it only accounted for part of your schooling. And that the rest you knew was being subsidized by either the school or maybe your family or the scholarship program. You weren't really sure the exact details, but you knew, for as far as you knew, it was taken care of. You don't, as far as you know, you haven't gotten any notices or anything like that.
Great. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll do the study regardless. Like, sure. Do you have any, like, info on that?
Well, it does concern me to hear that you didn't know about this. Normally I would suggest you go by the financial office today, but it's closed for renovations today, so maybe tomorrow you could go by and get some more details on that.
Yeah, of course. That was my next step after this. I suppose getting a means to help mitigate that is also probably a good step. So,
Yes, Professor Yale's office actually isn't that far from here if you wanted to go by and ask him some questions. Like I said, I don't know the full details. All I know is it's a paid study. It has to do with magically skilled individuals. And that it counts as credit for your schooling.
yeah, probably. I mean, good enough to have credit in the first place, especially because I guess, previously rocking the scholarship. So, yeah, I guess I'll go talk to them about whatever is going on here. Or not that, but like, the study, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Then I wish you good luck, and I hope to hear good news about your financial confusion that there seems to be happening. Hopefully it can be sorted easily.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully so. We'll do the best we can here, I guess.
He gives you a little head nod, picks up his papers, and leaves. Leaves you to your devices.
Yeah, alright, I guess I'm gonna go talk to that other professor.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like the most I can do right now.
Yeah, roll me a little history check really quick on the name Yurgiel.
Alright, dice, please, stop. They didn't. 12.
Alright, what you know, the name is relatively familiar to you. You haven't heard it, in the last year or two, but you remember hearing about it before that in the news.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't stop yawning. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
But you remember hearing a lot about this sort of techno magic prodigy who was very, very good at what he did. And that a lot of praise was put upon him. He was said to be a genius in his field, and that he was the main mind behind several groundbreaking innovations, and crazy inventions that completely revolutionized ways of life, that sort of thing. but that he never took any of these accolades. Never, became the CEO of a tech company or some shit like that. He just wanted to be a teacher.
Fair enough.
Didn't really want to earn money from it. And then, he's currently the head of the techno-magic department at the university.
Alright.
And he's a tiefling.
Wow, me and the homies.
Truly.
Me and the wizardly comp sci homies. Let's get it.
You'd love to see it. Yeah, truly. But you head off. You've never personally met the guy. You might have, later on in your, schooling and stuff. You might have taken classes from him, but you weren't at that point yet. But heading on over to his office, you can see a pair of students leaving, chatting to each other and holding what looks like some sort of pamphlet. And a tall, kind of broad man is waving to them as they leave. He's kind of, to put it nicely, cotton candy colored. He is a tiefling.
Ooh, this guy pink as shit.
He's more like he's blue and aqua.
That kind of cotton candy.
Yeah, good shit.
Well, when I hear cotton candy, I just assume pink.
That's fair.
So fair, yeah.
He's got some pink. You do got
fair.
some pink.
Oh my god, trans rights. Trans rights,
literally.
Let's get it.
It's the hot professor. You know how it be.
Good for
the hot
him.
Trans professor.
good for him. I have boundaries that take me against romancing professors.
No, he's not going to be trying to romance anyone. Do not worry.
That's fine. Well, I'm just saying that I'm not going to try and romance him because he's a professor. And I have boundaries.
I salute you, and
as a student,
Lacuna.
As a student, I have boundaries.
Imagine being a student and trying to romance a teacher. I look at Benny and Prophet.
You what now?
Huh? Don't worry about it.
I'm worried now. That's fine. You guys do you. I have morals and ethics, so I'll be over here. Not doing that. Thank you, though.
No. I think it's okay as long as they're
she's also
personal
yeah.
teacher,
well, I mean, if it's not your professor, and you're similarly aged, I think that's fine.
Exactly.
It's not a position of power in that circumstance. But this guy, I might take classes from him in the future, and I think that's an ethical issue.
Yeah,
and
especially
also,
since he's
Lacuna's young, so
yeah.
Yeah.
But he kind of is wishing them well as they leave. And glances over at you as you approach. Hello. What can I help you with?
Hi. Yeah, I was referred to you by Professor Van Derek about some study you're running.
Ah, yes, you're the one he mentioned. He mentioned he thought that he had a magic user in one of his morning classes. Come into my office. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable.
All right. Just awkwardly sit on a chair.
Yeah, there's a couple of couches in his office. Very, very much the kind of office of a professor who's trying to be we're buddies, we're friends, we're pals.
All right. Yeah, I've just met this man. Just gonna awkwardly sit on his couch, I guess.
Mm-hmm. He walks over to his desk and is you want a mint? I have mints.
Sure. I guess. Go ahead, take a mint. I put it in my pocket for later.
Mint for later. But he takes a seat at his desk and kind of scoots forward a bit. So, demon, stop it.
Wow.
He loves
I'm being racially profiled.
No, he loves grabbing my cords.
Oh,
my
fair.
demon.
I thought I was just being called a demon as someone who's a tiefling. And I was you know what? You're not wrong, I guess. Technically. You
Racially
got me there.
profiled by your professor.
Yeah, racially profiled by my own race.
Dude.
Man.
But he kind of leans forward on his desk. So, I'm sure Venderick did not know a lot of details, but it is like I'm sure he's mentioned, it's a research study. We're focusing specifically about looking at different topics connected to magical potential scores. How it translates to actual magic users in their prime, how it can change throughout age, what it can mean in different circumstances. We're looking to understand it more, especially the recent spike in MP scores in young people. There are no medications of any kind involved, other than us requesting that you inform us of any medications you're on, just so we know what we might have to account for. It's mainly asking you questions and monitoring your various biological levels. It's over the course of a few weeks. It counts as a half credit. You wouldn't be alone. There's other students participating as well. And while the pay does depend on how many sessions you come to, it's very flexible time-wise. You're welcome to come as many times or as few times as you like. Me and my partner, Professor Fontank, are doing a little talk tomorrow morning, explaining more in detail, answering questions. And if you come to that, even if you come to that, ask some questions, decide it's not for you, you'll be paid even for just showing up to the introductory talk. Would this be something you're interested in?
Sure, yeah. So what you're doing is just like figuring out, like taking the MP scores of like your participants and like seeing how that translates to what was it again exactly?
All sorts of various things. How it translates to how much magic you're actually able to possess, because some people are dubbed as being high potential, but actually never use magic in their lifetime. Also, sometimes MP scores can change as you age and grow. It's a very interesting topic in my mind, and with this new seeming mutation in young people's bodies that is increasing the amount of magic that they can hold within them, we're very curious to see if we can maybe pinpoint a reason for this.
Okay, I think I understand what you're going for. Yeah, sure. And you said, well, obviously informed consent and everything. Just like not anything that's going to necessarily be harmful to anyone, right?
No, not at all. At most, we might request that people, go on a run or cast some spells if they have the capability to do so. But there would not be anything, no orally ingested drugs, no injected drugs, no drugs of any kind.
All right. Fair enough, I guess. Yeah. So you said tomorrow morning's when you've got your talk on it more in depth, I suppose.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Is there like anything else I need to know as far as the study or like preemptively before your talk and everything, or
Not particularly, but if you're able to, figure out times when you might be most available, that'll be good just so we can make sure that we have at least an attendant at the lab ready to receive you if you come by during that time.
all right. Sure. I can go ahead and like set that out for you. I'm not super free on the weekends most of the time because I work, but like during the week and everything, I'm a bit more flexible if that is okay.
Of course, that is perfect with us.
All right. Cool. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow morning then.
All right, we'll see you then. Have a wonderful day. What did you say your name was?
Lacuna.
Have a wonderful day, Lacuna.
Thanks. You too, I guess. And then just leave.
He gives you a handshake and sends you on your way. You have, like I said, your Mondays are rather free. So, do you think that Lacuna would maybe, work mainly on the weekends, but maybe take like a short shift on Mondays or something?
Yeah, probably. If she only has one class that day.
Mm-hmm. And it's a morning class too, so.
Yeah.
All right. Then, as you exit the class and kind of digest, what happened last night, this newfound information that you're some amount of money in debt to your university, some magical study you're going to be taking, go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Thankfully, I have proficiency in those as a wizard of some kind. Oh, dirty 20. Let's get it.
Nice.
We're having an upswing. Actually, no, I'm going to jinx it. We're not having an upswing. A momentary luck.
Wow, you don't have a total panic attack.
Fantastic. I'm medicated for that.
Truly. You managed to avoid falling too deep into it. But the rest of your day does sort of begin to go by in sort of a haze. You take a bus over to Homegrown Inc. and you find yourself double checking your emails, your spam or trash folders for any sort of heads up you might have missed, any phone calls you might have missed, anything on your message machine, nothing. And any preliminary research you do on the internet says you should have been notified, and if you weren't, then warnings were probably sent to whoever was paying before.
Can I check my contact info with the university and make sure that it's like see where they would have sent anything in the first place?
Yeah, looking into it, it looks like it looks like you're listed as the secondary informant for any financial information.
Great.
And the first informant is a name you don't initially recognize, but in the email attached to the name, you know how it says at blank.com?
Yeah.
I don't think you nailed this down, so we'll do it later. But it is a company name that your father is connected to.
Wow, great. Fantastic. Can I switch that real quick? Can I just be like, all right, changing that for the future. It's me, the primary informant. Give me the information first, please.
Sure. It's a bit of a headache of you standing on a crowded bus trying to be heard on the phone as you deal with some customer service employee who's trying to help you change it. But also it's an involved process. It's all around annoying for both you and them, you're sure.
Yeah.
But eventually you make it so you are the number one and sole informant for your school details.
All right. I mean, I guess, is there anyone I can call from the company who would know what's going on and wouldn't be my dad?
Do you think Lacuna would have tried to keep in touch with anyone or get contact information of anyone?
I mean, I feel like they would be aware of at least if he had a secretary or something, that would be hey, if I need to ask anything involving questions for I don't know, whatever, I feel like there's a reasonable enough chance that she'd be aware of that at the very least.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't think she like keeps like in touch with them in any way or form, but like at least she'd be dimly aware of like a secretary or something that she could like call and ask for details if she needed to fill out like a form or whatever.
Sure thing.
To avoid having to call her dad. So
you give a call to your dad's secretary, because while your family mostly lives on, another plane, your your father's company is mainly focused on the material plane, just in a different major city. So you give a call to his secretary, which is easy enough since she's on the same plane as you. If you wanted to call your parents, it'd be a bit more involved.
Yeah.
It's like, international.
Like international calling, yeah.
Literally. And it rings and rings. No one picks up, and eventually there's the answering machine. And the answering message kind of gives you pause since it's different than you remember last time you called. As it's the receptionist's voice saying, "Hello, thank you for calling Blank Industries." We are currently on administrative leave for the next month. Please leave a message after the beep. And then,
I'm not going to leave a message. Like, that's not helpful. They're on administrative leave.
Which is, sometimes, administrative leave for a weekend or something, or holidays makes sense.
Yeah, like a whole ass month.
A month is a lot.
God.
And you're not sure where in this, time period they're at.
Fantastic. Love that. All right, well, guess I'm not doing anything until tomorrow anyways, because I got to go talk to the bursar's office or whatever. Like, I'm not going to call my dad. Like, that sucks. International calling or whatever, so...
All right. You arrive at work, still stressed and out of it, but put together enough that you're able to, start cleaning, getting supplies for the various artists who call for it. The shop is relatively busy today. And you're still in this sort of haze when you become aware that your voice is being called and kind of glance over your shoulder. You see DC is hurrying over to you. Hey, Lacuna, you good? You certainly look off. You okay?
Thanks. Yeah, having a day today, honestly. We're going through it a little bit. I won't lie. But at work, I guess.
Yeah. He kind of looks at you for a moment and then kind of shouts over his shoulder, "Rez, me and Lacuna are going on break now. Thanks, bye." And grabs your arm and kind of gives you a tug towards the back room.
All right. Yeah, sure. I'll let him.
He brings you to the back, gets you like a cold drink, and sits down next to you. We can talk about it if you want, or if you just want to take a little bit to rest your eyes, whatever you would prefer.
I mean, I'm not sure how great that's going to go right now, considering like a lot of things. But like, yeah, sure. I mean, we can talk about it. If you want out of this at any point, you're more than welcome to just like tap out, because it's going to be like a whole thing.
No, I'm offering.
But all right. Yeah, it's really been a 24 hours, I suppose. Well, like, back to front, I suppose. I learned from my professor, actually, that I apparently am in debt to the school as a result of, I guess, my dad's company not paying the things that he needs to. So I called their office to try and like get any kind of response as to what's going on here. And like, they're apparently on administrative leave for a month. So, I mean, who knows how that's going to go. So I've somehow got to figure out how to get through all that, which is great, considering my financial stability is very tenuous right now and definitely not going to be willing to deal with monthly payments to the school or anything. So we'll see how that goes. I may have gotten a side gig to help with that, which is nice at least, but like, just another thing to the pile, adding on everything else. And then also, great time last night. Locke wanted my help with something after work. So I went to go help her pick something up. And I watched a man get shot before my eyes. So that's really a great one, honestly. So yeah, we're getting through it, I suppose, in a matter of speaking.
Listen, Lacuna, I know you don't exactly have a lot. This isn't an insult, by the way. It's not on you, it's on other people. But I know you don't exactly have a ton in the way of like a support system. We can ask Rez about maybe getting you some more hours if you want.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do here. We'll see how it goes. I have a meeting tomorrow with said side gig being a research study with like my magic and everything. So like depending on how well that pays, I might have to get more hours here. We'll see.
Yeah. Do you have any family members you're able to talk to?
Not really. For one, it would be like a whole thing trying to like talk to them because they don't live on this plane. And for two, considering they just kind of like dumped me at school, like 8 years ago at this point. Not the best relationship there. So, not especially. I'll be real.
Well, I mean, if it comes down to it, I have a spare bedroom. You can come stay with me. Rez, I'm sure will be happy to give you more hours. Like we can figure it out. We can make it work. I really just think you need some support. And he's kind of cut off as there's a little like sound, a little knock knock on the break door, and the two of you glance up to see Resonant standing in the doorway, looking a little bit confused. Hey, not to interrupt, Lacuna, someone came by and left something at the desk for you.
Okay.
A well-dressed fellow in a suit said to give you this card. And they hold out like a kind of cream-colored, like business card.
Oh my god, the callback. Our jokes about the business cards.
It was very funny that you made those jokes.
It teleports me. All right, yeah. Let's take a look at the business card.
All right. On it, just has some like maroon ink writing in like a very smooth and quick handwriting style. And it only has a couple of lines of writing. And it says, I hear I have a niece in town. Make sure your schedule is free Wednesday evening. We'll be getting dinner together on me. 6 p.m. sharp. Wear something nice, but casual. And it's signed E. Sharp. I will copy and paste that for you.
Now hold on a sec.
Mm-hmm. And thinking about the name Sharp, you're pretty sure that your mother's maiden name was Pure Sharp.
Great. Cool.
Of note, you have never heard anything about your mother's family.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's not like I talk a lot to my mom's family my mom and my family in the first place. So, you know, reasonable that I just wouldn't know about them. But yeah, sure. And today's a Monday.
Yeah,
right.
Today's Monday.
Cool. Where am I supposed to meet him? Is he just... Cool. All right. Bro, I guess.
Resident seems a bit confused, but, you know, steps back out to resume their work. And DC, like, kind of leans over to read over your shoulder. You have family in the city, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, first time I'm hearing of it, but that's not that much of a surprise.
Do you think they're just visiting or something?
I have no idea.
Go ahead and roll a history check.
14. God, someday I'll roll more than 10. I've done it twice today.
You've definitely heard the last name Sharp somewhere. It takes a little bit for you to recall that there is a company that is very prevalent in the city that's known for its magical biotech. It's known for making like magical prosthetics, different treatments by using a melding of science and magic. And it's very cutting edge, very connected to a lot of different things, very prevalent in the city. And you know it's run by the Sharp family. You don't know a lot about the family though, but the company is called Sharpiva.
All right, great.
That's
weird.
Don't say that.
This guy's trying to date professors. This guy's also hitting on my aunt. What a world we live in.
But as you wonder over this card and all the other extremely strange things that have happened over the last 24 hours.
We're having one for sure.
Yeah, you spend your day kind of in a haze.
Yeah.
You know, eventually getting home and being like, I guess I'm doing homework. Wow, a normal one.
What am I gonna do?
And we pass the day. And we'll end this session 0 with you going to sleep, ready to wake up early to go to this introductory talk.
Wow, great.
Hee hee.
Having one.
Having one, for sure. How do you feel about having an uncle? Savior's asking.